quick video tonight, not bar by bar replay, but just naked chart, so you can see everything which I tried to set up during the week, all the valid losses and all the valid wins, plus 8.5%, not too bad. This week, we're not going to do bar by bar, but we are going to go through last week, and I'm going to try to really shorten the video. So in case you don't know the style of trading which I do, I trade order blocks, last candles, pullbacks, and predominantly trade with the trend. Okay, I try to enter on the 15-minute using the H4 and the daily for confluence. So this week I upgraded my trading view. I haven't done it for quite a while, and I've just split my screen, so ignore this over on the left, don't worry too much about it. We're going to be looking at this box over here. Okay, so just going to go through. I couldn't really get an entry to save my life last week. Don't know about you guys. You know, if I drop my time frames, of course, there were plenty of entries, but I've been trying to be really disciplined for the FTMO challenge. So essentially, we started off the week right here, and immediately we got into a pullback, and I was so tempted just to place an order off of here, which I should have done, and I would have probably have stayed in. Tell you what, this is one part of my chart which I haven't marked up, just to see if I'd have stayed in. So because I'm doing the FTMO challenge, I am actually setting my orders in the right places, but I'm moving up 0.6 pips, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And if I slide that across, yeah, I'd have been in. So at the start of the week, I was looking for, I think it was 4.5% or 3.5%. I wasn't looking for much. And I ended up taking a few stupid trades that I didn't need to, mostly because I was feeling the time pressure. So my account resets on Tuesday. I ended up wearing it down, taking stupid trades after having such a really good start to it, which is a bit frustrating, but it's fine. I've got the free retake, so I'm just going to do that and smash it. So anyway, that was literally the first sort of hour or two. It was into the Asia session. When it got to around about midnight, I thought maybe I should just short it right now. I didn't. I thought I'm going to stay a little bit more disciplined than that. I should have done, because, you know, by the time price got down to even here, I'd have had an account pass and happy days. Anyway, so the price just literally step laddered all the way down. Okay, every single order. So I was literally just setting alerts, waking up through the night, listening to the alert, literally set my orders, take the orders off when they pass through and invalidate themselves. Got down to this area. Okay, so on the H4, if we look, okay, maybe it's not that visible, but over here we run into, I'm going to change this chart a little bit. We had this quite large H4 gap down here. Okay, so we had a huge imbalance right there, and we had demand pressing into the market, so bit of supply coming down, demand pushing it up, and I said this is an area for us to look for. So last week I spent a lot of time being a little bit confused with the market until I zoomed out to, I think it was the 3-hour chart. I don't use different time frames other than, you know, weekly, daily, H4 and 15, but I thought I'm going to change the time frame, see if I could just find some spikes. And as soon as I realized these were spikes, I said this is going to go, this is just liquidity, and it's going to run down to here. I was expecting, though, to be fair, I was expecting a little bit more, I can't think of another word, penetration into here. I was expecting to find the general, you know, chalk formation more so into the 50% area of the H4. So it was a little bit of a false flag for me to, you know, start looking to reverse off at this point. But the telltale sign was right here. Okay, so price pressed down quite aggressively, which was good. Left a little gap. Had a feeling price was going to come up to here and do something with it, possibly. But I didn't like this price action. Just too wicky. You know, the wicks were getting run very quickly. And then we also had this little spike down and an aggressive push up. And to me, usually that just means a reversal. It's basically chop, or, you know, the first sign of it anyway. So a break, but a rejection. So might as well call it a wet break. This I didn't like the structure of at all, but I said, I'll tell you what, this is part of my strategy. This week, I'm not going to chicken out on any trades. I'm just going to do all of it, because we know that, you know, mathematically, this trading plan cannot fail. So I said, right, okay, forget my feelings. I'm just going to try and get into the trade. Anyway, I did, came in, stopped me out, -1. So valid loss, knew it was low probability, no worries. Okay, so I was waiting for the breaker structure just here, got it, that's cool. Then set an order on here. Did it come back? Really close, but no, it didn't. Once we got this breaker structure moving up, so just off of that candle, set another order, didn't get tagged in. Breaker structure, didn't get tagged in. Breaker structure, didn't get tagged in. Breaker structure, didn't get tagged in. And then we got chalk up here. So we re-entered this H4 order block up here, which we just came out of, which was a bit of a mess. And for some reason, I remember in the group, we were all really fixated on this point of interest. Now, the reason why, well, I liked it because it was clearly the aggression sort of coming down and passing down through. The bit which I didn't like about it was that it actually started to curtail? I don't know if that's a word. It started to tail off a little bit around here. It wasn't like a steep drop. Additionally, it's a point of interest in the middle of a higher time frame point of interest. Now, if I like to refine my POI, it's usually right to the end. Okay, so it's going to be like the extreme order block, and I'm just trying to refine into it. And I'm going to show you an example of that in a second. But anyway, I saw price run up to it, and it came up to, I think it was probably about here. We just got into it and then pulled back a little bit. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to get into this. So I placed my order very impulsively. I wrote this down in my journal, really impulsive, don't do those trades. And price just ran through within, I don't know, 2 minutes. So another stop out, another 1% gone. So impulsive entry, shouldn't have taken. Then, for some reason, I decided to vacuum the whole house for about an hour and a half. So I'd set my alert, didn't hear it go off because I had the Hoover going, and this was the entry which I would have got into. Okay, so this one which I'd been waiting for, I'd missed, well, I hadn't missed, they just didn't give me the opportunity, but several opportunities where price had pulled back and the opportunity to get into there. Now the first target would have been just for top of this POI. Okay, so that would have been, you know, 3.5-ish to 1. And then what I would have done beyond this, because I only needed at this stage probably 5.5%, I'd have tailed it just behind every spike down. Okay, so if we got chalk, it would have taken me out. So I'd have been able to follow that all the way up to the base of this. So 6.39, again, would have been an account pass. Then what we had was, I think this was overnight. Yeah, so we had this price action overnight. I was setting my alerts, literally just setting everything throughout the night. So working really hard on this, just trying to get every entry, and pretty frustrated that I missed this one just in the 1 hour which I took out. Obviously, I wasn't expecting it to pull down quite so quickly. It did. These things happen. So we had this move down and it lined up perfectly. All right, so aggressive move down, a bit of a, I don't know, like an attempt down, and then another aggressive move, and then it started to zigzag back up. All right, so the perfect price action really is move down and exhaustion back up to an order block, and then off it goes again. So we had this, and I remember in the group I said, okay, one bit of bar replay. I said, actually, this is a POI which I can refine, and if I do, this is going to be an account pass. But because I want to set a good example, I don't want to deviate from my rules. And I said for this FTMO challenge, I'm going to stick to the 15 minutes, all right? But this is one time where I should have deviated a little bit, because we just had the perfect price action, all right? Look at this aggression coming in here. It's leaving so many imbalances behind. You know, there was a build-up of orders there. Once prices pass through that, it's basically going to run through all of this imbalance. This is the 15 minute, so that's the 15 POI. And as I said before, I prefer POIs which are refined to the edges. So I just want to talk you through this structure really quickly. This ran into that, okay? This was the move which created a really decent sell-off, right? So this was reacting to over here. We also had on the 15, the last push up, okay? So it's from the base of here, so it was top of there. On the 1 minute, what we had was 2 areas for refinement, all right? So we had the last push up, which was basically that last blue candle pressing down from the base of this white candle right there, okay? So that was the last push up. So again, that's a refinement. And then the next refinement was a 1 minute candle. And the reason why I liked this last push up, literally the very last candle, was this actually took all the liquidity from across all of these highs, right? So the highs along here, all the liquidity had been taken from it. So I might as well mark that up. All right, so this was like the perfect setup. And I said, you know what, I really want to get involved in this, but I didn't. I didn't. So this would have been my stop loss. I think it was 2.5, 2.4, and then obviously move it up by 0.6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And the reason why I do that is literally just to account for spreads on FTMO. And I could have set my take profit really not far at this stage. It was less than 7, so about there. And yeah, obviously we'll see in a second, but this is what I did get involved in. Stop loss was a little bit bigger, 6.5. The stop loss, 2.4. But let's come out of bar replay and show you how it went. So yeah, price gradually came up and it tagged me in. Okay, so I'd have been tagged in even on this one. All right, so frustrating with this. Would have been tagged in, absolutely perfect, in and out within, I don't know, 20 minutes. Not 20 minutes, about an hour or so, in and out, account pass. What I could have done as well was just held on to this and also got an account pass. But what we did find was that price recoiled and came back up a little bit. So this may have stopped me out, even with my accountability for the spreads, okay? So it might have been stopped out, might not have been stopped out. But nonetheless, I saw price, after the first hour or so, I looked at the screen and price was down here. And I thought, okay, cool, it's moving. It's going to come down, break this low, and we're going to be good. All right, we're going to pass with this. But then all of a sudden, for some reason, I loaded up my chart and I saw price literally up here. So this white candle had formed almost to its fullest. And I was like, oh my God, it was actually in the red at that point. I thought, should I just close this out? I knew that this was a one-hit wonder, basically. So I had to basically get this trade or I was going to be retaking the challenge. And so the pressure was on, really. I should have held it. I know now that I should have held it. But in reality, you should always just hold your trades. If your analysis is correct to begin with, just hold on to your trades. And that's something which I'm really trying my hardest to try and overcome. And it was really this one which frustrated me throughout the week. So essentially, immediately after selling it, price went bam, and it just started to look really good on the chart. And then as we moved on, I just essentially marked this out for premium discount. I found that there was a perfect sort of pullback. It was an EQ, so the equilibrium trade. Set my order for my final 1% on the account, and it was a valid loss, so I didn't even bat an eyelid. And I was already confined at that point to, you know what, the challenge is done. So I'm just going to wait for my reset and go again. But instead, I just went out, bought another account, and I'll be running 2 now. But yeah, so for this week, really, the markets didn't provide that many opportunities. But if you had taken this and held on to it, it's 6.37. And if you'd have trailed this up to the actual turnaround point, this would have been 6.39. So together, that's about 12.5% just from 2 trades. And if you did take the valid losses like I did, like if you took this one, it was valid, but it wasn't high probability. But let's say, for example, you took like 1, 2, 3, 4 trades and missed out, you would still be up 8.5%, which, to be fair, I don't know many strategies out there which tend to do that in a month consistently, and this is within a week. So, it matters when you miss the trades and when you chicken out on trades. So next week as well. So, I can't take credit for, holding my nerve with almost everything apart from that trade. Had a really good chat with the group, with the Discord group on Sunday last week on our group call, and had a really, really good chat with one of the guys in there. We realized that, you know what, the strategy is absolutely solid. Mathematically, it can't fail. So why am I trying to pick which ones win when actually I should just be entering on all of them? It doesn't make sense to try and pick the winners, because you're going to get, sometimes you'll get 5-6 losses in a week. You can do. But if you're trying to pick the winners, you're probably going to miss the ones which actually go off and win. So just a bit of a lesson learned for me. Just stick to your guns and go for it. But throughout the whole week, including this one, I was frustrated with this. I was frustrated with myself. But with that loss, I was a little bit frustrated because I punched out, because I saw it last minute. Like, I logged on, I was like, oh my days, and panic, and just literally closed the trade. What I'm going to be doing now is prepping myself before opening my charts and saying, I don't care where this position is. Regardless, I'm just logging in to have a look and see if I've taken profit or a stop loss. and regardless of where it is, I'm not going to punch out. So I've got to prep that in my head before I open my charts, just so I can maximize my ability. And then, yeah, with this one, I literally didn't bat an eyelid. I didn't care less that I was in the trade, which was really good. So I can feel my psychology improving massively. But yeah, guys, just wanted to do a real quick video. I'll probably do bar by bar next week again, but I just don't have too much time tonight. But yeah, let me know how you got on last week. Are you trading the same way now or not? Yeah, speak soon.